Alright, here's the big Marvel Avengers showcase. So like I said, the premise for this video is just original designs for Avengers characters. And I was even thinking with these designs, like kind of making them, thinking of like maybe a storyline with them or something. I don't know if I'm ever gonna do anything with that. But it's cool to kind of make your own original take on characters and see how you would kind of interpret them. So far, I've interpreted all these guys pretty differently than normal. So let's just get started with the Avengers lineup. So I've made a whole bunch of Avengers. Some of them aren't really that associated with Avengers. Then I've made a whole bunch of, I think, Avengers-related villains. Some characters I didn't make that are on the Avengers are any characters that are heavily associated with like other teams. I try not to do, like for example, any X-Men. I know like Wolverine is on the Avengers a lot, but he's not real. I don't really consider him an Avengers character. I consider him more of an X-Men character who goes on the Avengers. Same with any Fantastic Four character, and also Spider-Man as well. I don't really think of him as an Avenger, even though he's been on the team multiple times. I just consider him more of his own thing. So these are all characters that I kind of more consider Avengers, with some exceptions. But yeah, so let's just get on to the good guys side, which is by far the largest team out of the, besides, way bigger than the villain team up. And let's start off with the first Avenger, or what they declare the first Avenger, is Captain America. This guy is pretty cool. I recently used the Peggy Carter legs, and then the new Avengers, the new Marvel Shield from obviously the new CMF. The arms are painted. I decided to give him a little dot to make it look like his magnet thing that he has. Also an American flag on his shoulder. Also his torso design also has an American flag. You see the stripes and the blue dot. So overall I kind of wanted to make him look very American-y, which, because it fits for Captain America. And yeah, so this is Captain America, a different A, and also so yes, like the little shoulder. I thought this design looked pretty cool, and I also really like the red on the dark blue. I think the John Walker had that on his helmet. I don't know, I just really like that design, so I want to apply that to this Captain America, which is not John Walker. This is the normal kind of Captain America, just with my own design on it. Also, another character that I kind of associate with Captain America, or that I personally, not personally, but I kind of made him seem like they're in the same gang because they both have the American flag on their shoulder, is Falcon. Oh, shoot. Falcon. So, yeah, this is the original kind of Falcon design. Also has an American flag. So, I imagine that maybe before they join the Avengers, they're on the same task force or something. They work for the American government. So yeah, so I got this design. So I decided to throw in a lot of red and white throughout because Falcon has a lot of that. This is the Falcon torso. Just I added a little bit of white to the torso and to the top and bottom of the torso. Also the wings, I kind of wanted them to I went with a mix between the comic booky, more natural looking design and the MCU kind of robotic design, because I basically what I did is I went with the, as you see, this is the actual like wing piece that they'd use for more comic booky design, but I gave them kind of like silver and gray feathers to kind of make it, I don't know, feel like they're more mechanical and they're metal, right? And some like little red and white detailing there. So it's kind of it's like they look like they're shaped like the original kind of comic book design, but they're kind of colored like a more mechanical. So I thought that would look cool. Stormtrooper legs with some dark red boots. I thought looked good with the whole white throughout. And yeah, then the face. I originally didn't have this face, but I recently put the Falcon face that came with the Falcon Captain America. And I think that looks good because, like I said, adds more kind of white throughout the design, which I think looks cool with the white and red. So, yeah, there is the Falcon. All right, on to some more kind of original Avengers. Gotta show off Iron Man. This guy is pretty cool. His helmet looks a bit derpy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not the proudest of his helmet, but the rest of it I think looks cool. He uses kind of buffed up armor design. It's all painted by me. And yeah, I wanted to do the helmet this way just to kind of make it look more original, I want to say, but I don't think it turned out the best in the world. Could have been better, but yeah, here he is, the original Iron Man. Like I said, I wanted to make it a lot more bulky, and I thought it looked cool. And yeah, so there is Iron Man. Also, some other kind of like more original Avengers, at least from like the movies, is Black Widow. I really like how this is one of my more favorite figures of the bunch. I like how this one turned out. I decided to make the hair more red and also give it kind of shorter hair. You know, I figured the kind of Marilyn Monroe hair, but I also figured that it kind of would double as, you know, be more tactical to have short hair, you know, when fighting. But even this might be too long, but I don't know. Decided to expose a bit more skin, as you can say, on the arms. So, I don't know. I think it just looks cool having bare arms. But she still has the little gauntlets, so she can, you know, use her widow bites and all of her tools. I decided this is the Black Widow torso, but I changed up. They originally had these blue lines. I changed it up to red because it is Black Widow, and she does, and Black Widows obviously have more red than they have blue in it. You know, it doesn't make. I mean, I guess making the blue is for the electric, you know, thing she has in Civil War, but I think it looks cooler with the red, and plus is more accurate to the Black Widow spider, which the design is derived from. Also boots, that kind of, those weird boots that kind of strap up to the top, kind of inspired by WandaVision's Wanda, where she had those kind of weird lines going up. But yeah, I think this looks pretty good. And also the face print, I don't know where it's from, but I think it looks pretty cool with all the red makeup and stuff. So yeah, so there is Wanda Maximoff. Next up, let's get a newer Avenger, at least newer in the movies, Black Panther. I'm really happy how this guy turned out. I think this guy looks really, really cool and detailed. The torso came from... The torso's not that original because it came from the new line of sets, the new Infinity Saga sets. But I changed up a little bit about it, but it's really just kind of the rest of the figure that really stands out to me. This helmet piece is actually from Nate's Minifigs. I ordered it a while ago and it finally came in and I was able to make this custom. But I'm really happy how that looks, and I painted that up with purple detailing. And while I still have the original face underneath there, but this just looks so much cooler. Also, I threw in a lot more gold. Now, I was inspired to do that by Killmonger's design, because honestly, I think Killmonger's design in the movie is really cool with the gold on black. I think that kind of even looks cooler than Black Panther's silver on black. I know it was a contrast. You know, Killmonger's design, you know, silver on black compared to the gold on black. But I think the gold on black just looks really cool, and honestly, kind of makes him look a bit more like royalty, if I'm honest. You know, I imagine gold as more royal color, rather than having the usurper of the throne have gold. You know, so I thought it'd be cool to have T'Challa's Black Panther have these gold designs. You can see the gold claws, gold bracelets. You can see the detailing on the arms, the purple lines, and purple lines down here, and purple throughout. So a lot of purple, but also some gold highlights on there, and I think that looks really cool. And I like how this figure turned out. So yeah, there you go. All right, next up we have, of course, the God of Thunder himself, Thor Odinson. And yeah, so for this guy, I gave him both weapons, Stormbreaker and Mjolnir. Stormbreaker is really, I only really gave him that weapon because he has the association with Stormbreaker through the movies. In the comics, Stormbreaker has been a weapon more associated with Beta Ray Bill and less so with Thor. I don't even know if Thor ever gets the weapon in the comics. But yeah, so he has both the weapons here. Also, the cape, I gave him this kind of double-sided Monkey Kid cape. That looked cool. Also, he has this kind of this weird fur coat piece. I think it would look cool in red. He has gold boots, and he also has, like I said, the torso design. I put some blue dots on there, and also still, like I said, golden boots. The face is Aquaman's face. I think it looks pretty cool. As Thor's face, I decided not to use the normal bearded Thor, the bro Thor, because I think the beard is a bit too dark, and I like Thor. I think it's more accurate when Thor has a lighter color hair or even a red hair, because I did make a Norse mythology Thor, and I like Thor when he's more accurate to Norse mythology, and when he has more kind of reddish hair, I think that's better. So yeah, that's what I did here, just using the Aquaman hairpiece. So there is Thor. Next up, let's get out Hawkeye. Hawkeye turned out pretty cool. He has this weird slick back, actually vampire hair, just painted over the ears, so it just looks like more hair. Kind of the darker design. They kind of make it, little references to Ronin. That's why you have these ninja wraps, also kind of supposed to look a bit Ronin-y. He has those glasses on there, which are pretty cool. Then he also, like I said, he has just the tactical bow and arrow, and then the quiver here. This guy's not that interesting, but I thought he was pretty cool. He also has this little brace gauntlet thing here that bow and arrow people use so the string doesn't hit their forearm. So I thought that would be pretty cool to have that on one arm and not the other. So this would, because I think because this arm he'd be using the pullback, and then so he'd have to be worried about that arm. So I think that's accurate. If any of y'all know how to shoot a bow and arrow, or I've done it before, but if any of y'all know more about that, you could correct me in the comments. But yeah, so this is a Hawkeye. So we got a lot of the original Avengers. Actually, one of them we didn't get is Monsieur Bruce Banner. So this is Bruce Banner in his human form, not as the Hulk. So just Bruce Banner. I wanted to kind of make him look a bit more like a crazy scientist type, even though he probably wouldn't be. But to kind of make him look a bit more, like he hasn't slept in a while because he's so focused on his work, type of guy. Obviously, the purple pants, try to make it look like the pants are like kind of draping over his shoes because his pants is just so baggy and large. And I imagine his pants probably goes up to his, somewhere in his torso. This lab coat is made just from the Batman. A Batman suit or something. I don't know. It was from the Lego Batman movie. But yeah, the head piece was just a heavily modified Harry Potter head. And and they gave him this kind of slick hair. But yeah, so there is kind of my Bruce Banner. And obviously, you can't have Bruce Banner without the Hulk. So I wanted to make this Hulk different than the rest. So here he is. I'm really proud of how this Hulk looks. Like I said, I wanted to make him unique and stand out above other Hulks. So first off, I try to be a bit realistic with the sizing. So I imagine that Bruce Banner probably didn't want his pants to rip all the time, so he'd wear big enough pants where the Hulk can wear them. Well, the biggest pants he can probably have would probably be still really tight on the Hulk because the Hulk is still ginormous. So you see his pants is super, it's not even down to his short, they're more like underwear at this point. But yeah, so there's the Hulk. Also, just this guy is just really bloody looking. I wonder who gave him those scratches. I was like, see his knuckles, he has bloody knuckles. I imagine this being a lot more violent version of the Hulk. I imagine this version being like a really violent and uncontrollable Hulk. Because a lot of the things with the Hulk, he's just kind of a buff dude. I imagine this version, he's really, the Avengers never really want to bring out the Hulk unless they absolutely need to, because the Hulk is kind of just uncontrollable rage, right? Where he he'll even try to kill people on his own team. He doesn't know the difference. Hulk, when he comes out, he's just pure rage, and I think that would be cool because the angle they have him in the MCU is neat. But I would like to see a pure, just a version of Hulk that's just pure rage, because that's the premise of the Hulk, right? Is that someone just so angry where they become a big hulking beast. So I imagine him just being a really big, just a hulking beast that's unpredictable, and they only use him if they very desperately need the Hulk. And even so, maybe he becomes too unpredictable, and they send him off in space, and who knows what happens then. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's Planet Hulk. So, yeah, there is the Hulk. The only big figure in this showcase. Some other figures here. Here's a pretty crucial Avengers, at least to the original Avengers. Not so much so to the Avengers in the MCU. But here's my version of Ant-Man. Now, imagine this is Hank Pym. It says Hank Pym's version of Ant-Man. It has the open face look. Also, because that's the comic look. Got these antennas made with the actual Lego lever pieces, kind of glued on there. And yeah, so this torso was originally War Machine. I just modified it with some red parts, put some red on the arms. And yeah, I actually really do like how this figure looks. Hold up. We could focus for a second. But yeah, so this is my take on Ant-Man. And I think it looks pretty cool and kind of comic booky, but also like a little modern at the same time with those like lines and whatnot, and with the more armored looking design. And without like the blues and stuff, so just red and black. So yeah, so there is my take on Hank Pym's Ant-Man. This one's pretty off the walls. I've made some characters that are very different than the comic book their movie or comic book counterparts. Is Vision. This guy, I wanted to make him look a lot more robotic than he is, and also kind of reduce his colors a lot. So, Vision is very colorful. He has like green, pinkish, and and a yellow cape. I decided to reduce that, so it's really just silver, little accents of green and red. I originally did have him have a yellow cape, but I thought it kind of clashed with the rest of the design, so I decided to give him a red cape. This is the new kind of Doctor Strange cape. But yeah, so here I decided to make him look a lot more robotic by giving him the those, I think they're the Doctor Who character robots. I don't remember what they're called. But yeah, torso, and then like I said, he has the cape going on and the red face, and it's all on a silver backing, which I think it's very unique, but I think it looks very cool. Oh, so hold up. I see. You've been trying to see what my face looks like through the reflection. Nice try, frail whale. But yeah, so here, that is my take on Vision. Alright, we only have a few quote-unquote heroes left, because I think I got a whole bunch of villains. Alright, here is Doctor Strange. Now, I think this guy is really unique looking. I gave him some power like effects here, some Ninjago bits, just to kind of make it look like he's using magic. But I'm just going to get rid of them so I can show you this figure better. But yeah, so this one I kind of went, like I said, a bit more with the crazier looking design, where he's kind of like a bit crazier. This cape is the weird kind of cape, and then I think it came in some CMF or something. But yeah, so it gave him bare chest and some straps all over, and yeah, I think he looks pretty. And also one of his eyes are green to kind of make it look like that he's actually using the eye of Agamotto, but he actually replaced it with his eye. So maybe if he closes one eye, he can see with that eye into the future. So yeah, I thought that looked pretty cool. Cutaway. I did record the middle to end of this video, but I lost that recording, so I'm re-recording. So sorry if there are any inconsistencies between this portion of video and the last portion, but I'm going to show off the rest of just the villains and then some other extra characters I have made as well. So first off, well, I gotta include obviously one of the most prominent Avengers villain, the first villain they've ever had in the comics and in the movies, which would be Loki, the god of mischief. Now, this version of Loki is quite different than the normal Loki you've seen. First thing you can tell is obviously he is bearded. This is a bearded Loki. I don't know exactly why I decided to do that. I just thought it looked cool, and I do think it still looks cool because it's kind of broken off, and he does look, kind of like the more evil type of beard to me. He has the staff with the stone in it. It's very different than the movies or the comics, but I think it looks cool. The hair piece, I thought it was a clever use of this the horn piece to kind of make it look like he's wearing this little horn thing that goes back and around, kind of like a goat's horn, and he has his armor piece as well. It's a very different version of Loki, but I like how this guy looks. Alright, some other villains we have is here. Oh shoot! I just think I touched a custom that was still drying. But here we have Taskmaster. Oh shoot! Why can't you fan that? Okay, Taskmaster. Yes. So this guy, he's partially inspired by the comics, partially inspired by the new movie version. The movie version of Taskmaster did a lot of things incorrect about Taskmaster, but the one thing it didn't do is the design. I personally thought the design looked really cool with the kind of visor on the helmet, so I just kind of replicated that, but also gave it some more skull features as well, and with that hoodie that goes over it. This is actually made with a Nate's minifig part. It's a Spider-Man, and you see a face print underneath. Spider-Man part that was in there, and I cut off the bottom of a hood and put that on the bottom. I have a kind of a masked hood look, and I think it looks pretty cool. He has a golden machete and also a shield with the same coloring, his same dark blue and orange color scheme he has going on there. So hold on, let me put these guys up. Shoot, this guy won't stand. Okay, whatever. Next up, we have this guy is really deviated from any other version I've seen of him, and I don't know why I decided to go so different with this last character, this last villain. Actually, no, I have another villain after this, but why I decided to deviate so much with this villain, I don't know. But this is Red Skull. Yeah, I know it's buff, shirtless Red Skull. Why did I make him look like this? Quite frankly, I don't know. I just think it looks cool and it looks neat. It gives me a lot of Darth Maul vibes, and that's what I decided to do. So, I can see here, like I said, he's completely shirtless. He has a knife, like, he's some sort of like assassin or something. I don't know. A bunch of tattooing. The Hydra logo tattooed on his chest. Some tactical boots, and a red cape, and then that face is painted by me. I'm not super proud of how it looks, but I'm relatively happy. So this is my version. This is a kind of weird version of Red Skull, and because I thought the suit version, I don't know. There's not many ways to deviate from like that, suit Nazi Nazi outfit that he has. All right, last villain, which this one's a bit different. This you might not even think he's a villain at first. But this is actually a lot of you people probably think that Iron Patriot is just the suit that Rhodey wears. That's what a lot of people know it as. But before, in the comics, before it was what Rhodey wore, it wasn't originally worn by Rhodey. It was worn by Norman Osborn, and he was like a kind of a villain. He led kind of like a knockoff Avengers. But yeah, so this is my version of Iron Patriot as a villain, not as Rhodey, but as Norman Osborn, who is the Green Goblin. So my Norman Osborn version of the Iron Patriot. It actually just uses the torso from the Falcon Captain America, and the helmet's just painted up Iron Man one. You can see here, you can see the headpiece I used underneath it is a Loki headpiece, because I think that really actually works well for Norman Osborn. And also, I had to give him waves. Yes, of course. If you don't know, Norman Osborn in the comics has waves. So I gave him waves. I made him wavy. Yeah, I did that. So, yeah, those are all the villains. And, one category I haven't done, right? I've made a whole bunch of villains. I've made a few, no, not a whole bunch of villains, a few villains. I've made some heroes, some buff heroes, some scientist heroes, some magical heroes. But something I didn't do that the Avengers team would most definitely need. Or what's the thing that the Avengers most definitely need that isn't in the showcase? That's right, legal advice. So I made some lawyers for the Avengers. First up, probably the most prominent lawyer of the bunch would probably be a Daredevil. So I made Daredevil in a lawyer attire. So he has his Daredevil look, but he has this nice suit on with a red tie. And yeah, pretty simple. He has his cane, so because he's blind. And yeah, I don't have the official Daredevil headpiece, even though I wish I did, but that comes in the $300 Daily Bugle, which I am not about to hash out that much money just for a face print. And then I made two lawyers, so not only Daredevil, but you have Hulk's Bruce Banner's sister herself, She-Hulk. Yes, She-Hulk in her lawyer attire. As you can see, she has this kind of ripped up suit with exposed arms. I thought this would be really funny. She uses the Peggy Carter hair, and I think it works pretty well. I thought this one would be pretty funny to do because, you think of Hulk or She-Hulk in general, and you don't really see them in a suit. It's always ripped up and they're fighting, but I thought it'd be funny to put her in her Hulk form, but still be a lawyer. So, yeah, and that's really it I have for the showcase. So I'm not showing off all the figures. I already put, like I said, this is like a few days actually after initially recording it. I had to re-record this bit because I couldn't recover that footage I got from the initial recording. But if you liked the video, please leave a like, subscribe, do all that great stuff. And most importantly, you should probably go watch the 2011 film Rango. I must admit, it's a pretty good film. It's just the best. And also just like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And most importantly, just have a nice day. Okay, ciao, bye.